Welcome to our Sanskrit.com. This is lesson 45. In the previous lesson, lesson 44, we looked at accents of single words, the lack of accent, and also double accents. We also started looking at the use of accents in various situations. We covered how accents behave in sandhis and in declensions. In this lesson, we will continue to look at accents. In lesson 36, we saw how declinable stems are derived from roots using primary and secondary suffixes. There are no hard and fast rules on how accents manifest in these derived forms, but some rules can be stated. Some examples of the primary suffixes are given in this and the next slide. And some secondary suffixes. In lessons 23, 24, and 25, we looked at compounds. The accent of compounds is various and there are irregularities even within the same kind of formation. But there are some rules that can work in some cases. All possible varieties occur. Let us look at some of the varieties. The first variety is this. Each member of the compound retains its own separate accent. This is very common in Devata Dwandas. The accent of the compound is that of the prior member. This is very common in possessive compounds or bahuvrihis. Note the difference between Rajaputra and Rajaputra. The first is a bahuvrihi and the other is a tatpurusha. The prior member is also accented by determinative compounds having a participle in ta or na, or a verbal noun in iti as final member, or beginning with the negative a or an. The next variety is where the accent of the compound is that of the final member. This is normally found in compounds having a verbal noun or adjective as final member, and also in compounds beginning with the numerals dvi and tri, or the prefixes su or dus. Another variety is where the compound takes an accent of its own, independent of that of either of its constituents. This new accent is taken on the final syllable of the compound. This is normally followed by Tatpurusha compounds and Karmadharaya compounds having a noun as final member, and Bahuvrihi compounds beginning with a negative prefix and some others. Let us now look at verbal accents. First of all, as we discussed before, a verb in an independent clause is unaccented, that is, loses its accent unless it stands at the beginning of the clause or in metrical text at the beginning of a pada. The verb is always accented in a subordinate clause. If the verb form has an augment, the augment always bears the accent. In forms where the augment is dropped, the rules given here will apply. The normal rules of the present system for thematic verbs is given here. You would have noticed here that the real difference between class 1 and class 6 is that class 1 adds an unaccented R as a thematic affix, but class 6 adds an accented R. In the same vein, the difference between the fourth class and the passive is that the fourth class adds an unaccented Ya, while the passive adds an accented Ya. Present system athematic verbs. Accent rules for the perfect system are given here. We already dealt with aorist before in verbs with augments. The rules for the future system are given here. The rules for the secondary conjugations are given here. This is the end of lesson 45. We continued looking at Vedic accents.